everybody, welcome back to Super Buddies Forever. Today I thought I'd talk about freight check. I've mentioned it quite a few times in both doll clothes and dollhouse making, and somebody kind of gave me the idea it might be a good idea to show a video solely on this for your help. Now I'm dealing with Barbie clothes in this video, but you can use this for any doll clothes, as you will see. It's called Freight Check. You can get it at Joann's Fabrics, and I even found it at Walmart. Here's the packaging. You can slow that down and pause it to read it. It does have a little bit of a smell to it. It smells very much like alcohol. They suggest getting air as you're doing it. I don't mind it too bad. The smell dissipates soon. When you open it, you can snip the tip with scissors or a knife. Hard to get that really fine. I highly suggest using a needle, and let me tell you, the first time it's very hard to get that needle in the tip to open it up, but it's worth the little bit of struggle, because then you can get really fine lines with this stuff. It goes on, you will see, like water, and does dry even if you do a little too much. They do suggest alcohol to take it off if you do have too much. I keep a needle handy as well, because as you're working along it might dry up in the tip, and you just got to stick the needle in there and get it flowing again. Here is some real time on me using it. Raw edges, it's obviously awesome for it. I hope you will notice through this video I tried specifically to pick very different kind of fabrics so you could see exactly how it goes on and how it looks after drying. Here again is some more raw edges on this apron, and although this part is slowed down, I thought for a visual, those of you who like visuals like me can see exactly how I do it. This gives me a very, very fine line, so it's just enough to stop it and prevent any fraying on raw edges or it getting worse if it is frayed. And it doesn't take a lot of time. I did do a lot of clothes all at once, so it took time as a whole, but even just to touch something up really quickly, no big deal. Another spot I really like to do, and did pretty much for everything, is right here in this little center curvature where the two pieces come together. It always seems to be raw edges. The older clothes have it serged or sewn, but nowadays that part is always, it gets the most stress from on and off clothes, so I always put a little bit in there to, at this point this is a brand new outfit, but I want to prevent it from busting apart. And maybe I go overboard. You all know I like a little extra just in case, and I thought, hey, I'm here doing it, why not go to it and be very highly preventative. When it comes to pants can sometimes get stressed too, so I tend to do the inner crotches of them because they seem to split out as well, and you'll get a feel for what is, you'll know, you look at your clothes, you know what's going on. So now I've sped this up, but you'll get a wonderful, wonderful visual on everything I like to do. Even when it comes to the ends of things where they meet and might get some stress, yeah, a little dab, and it's not going to fray, and it's not going to let loose anywhere near as easy as sometimes it does. Things with ribbon, I'm all over that, because those come loose, fray, or even run in the ribbon, if you've seen that. When it comes to things like this, bathing suits, I always want to make sure I definitely do overkill on this and pretty much put the freight check on everything, because these tend to come apart the easiest. Put a lot of time and effort into all these clothes in such a short amount of time, and I just want to enjoy them for as long as I can. In the end, I'll show you some dollhouse uses I've had for it. This stuff is just amazing, and I think it's about $3 a bottle. Not really a big deal. Yeah, you'll see there in the darts, I put a little in there too, just so those darts don't unravel. I can mend doll clothes, but it's never fun. They're so little. So I just rather do this first and hope it lasts a long time before it needs any mending. Mending is not fun. Sparkle Girls, awesome, awesome clothes. I'm obviously very new to them, and I love them. They're so different from Barbie clothes, and they don't seem to be dominated by pink. They make wonderful addition to the wardrobe, but they always have a ton of raw edges. They have a lot of cotton too, like the top of this, so I love that, but I know it's gonna fray, so I'll do most of those, and I have little buttons, little things that are added on, snaps, put a little dab there, that'll keep it on longer. Oh yeah, here I'm showing you some buttons and snaps. Button snaps. Just put a little bit on there. Once again, prevent, you know, these come apart quite easily and they get a lot of stress from on and off, on and off. So here you can see that I am being preventative. Once again, even though this thing is in really good shape, why not? I'm here anyway. Got a little clogged? Well, let's just stick the needle in there and unclog it. This was the weirdest fabric of everything I've done as of late or ever. It's like a nylon / parachute. So I thought I'd just put some stuff right on there and we'll let it dry and see how that looks, just for a tester kind of experiment. In time it's drying, and that was a little peek at what you can do. Here I found something that had some velvet on it and some brocade type things. Thought I'd show you that, how that's going to work out. Gracie had this and it was a little damaged. I don't have time to fix it right now, but I don't want that fraying that's on the chest area there to get any worse until I have time to work on it. And those, when things are attached to brocade and satin, sometimes they do come apart. So yeah, once again, I'm giving her a little overkill. And we get to see how this works on, as a visual on how it works on velvet. So I threw that in here, even though you're not going to see that finished. Time has passed about an hour and everything is dry. So now each of those items I did in the beginning, here's a really good thing to see how they all dried and how they do dry up, and you can't see them. It's kind of like starch on the items, on the cloth and fabrics. It feels a little stiff, especially if you've put too much. See, you can see, you cannot see where it was put. It dries up really nicely, especially if it's fine. So as I was saying, it can have a little bit of stiff feeling and like it's starched. That goes away. Just crumple it up in your hand, or when you wash it, put it on the doll clothes. It affects nothing really, but it definitely has a feel to it at first, and that quickly goes away. Here we are again, just looking over everything I did. Sorry if this is the slowest way about it, but I know some people really like to have a good look, and this was a nice gauntlet of fabrics to look at. Ooh, and then I will snip off all those little threads once this is all done and dry and I'm working ahead. See, the buttons look really, really good. Nothing has shown through on the white and everything else here. And yeah, what am I showing you now? I think in here was some fraying, and I'm going to tug on it a little bit to show you that it's pretty darn strong. I have used this with terry cloth too for doll sized towels. I've put that on thicker and that gets a little starchy stiff, but I haven't had any unravel yet. And here we are again on the satin and the brocade. No problems, no worries. This, I put it on thick, so now I'm squeezing it and you can see it does have that starched, very stiff effect on the fabric, but not going to be a big deal once I come along and fix this up. And now looking at our edges, I think you can have a wonderful, wonderful visual once again that this all blends in really good, does not damage the fabric or change it or melt it or any other thing, and or show as if it's a glue, because I don't think it's a glue. I'm actually not quite sure what it is. I just know that it works, and it works really well, and especially on hems, especially everywhere. It just works, and it makes the doll clothes last a whole lot longer. So now we're looking at this strange material. On the right you can see it a little bit, and of course this would happen on the one strangest fabric I'm using, right? When you put water on, you can see, that's actually spit, sorry. You can see where the heart was, and that it does eventually dry, and even with something that thick you don't see it. So you got a lot of playroom here. For your fun and eyes, it took me, this was our doll clothes heaven project for Barbie. With all these clothes you see here, I used a bottle and a half, and you can get a 2-pack too, and that helps a whole lot. So that is a lot of clothes, and it took a lot of time, but it was worth it. I think for long term, these clothes are going to last and not unravel for a good long time, more than usual. In terms of doll housing, I have used it for everything you will see here. Fake fur, netted old curtains, we got some satin coming up, even things with sequins like you'll see here in Blondie's room. I put it on the edge so the sequins wouldn't break. The end of ropes, that does need a little bit of glue, but it works to help it. Ribbons, ribbons, always ribbons, ribbons. We got some shears here that are all raw edges. No problems, no worries, it works on everything. Raw end strings, and then this strange little fabric here. Don't know what it is. We got our regular cotton and linens coming up, lace, you name it. It works for everything. Thank you to this wonderful person coming up for giving me the idea that this would be a video that might be useful to anybody, and also show you this is one of my top favorite products that I think everybody should have when they're into doll stuff.